Hey, Shalom. Giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Tazaiwan from GMS Atlanta. Back with another edifying video. An update to the Motb and the coming beast system. And this here is from biometricupdate.com. And this just came through today. And I'm going to jump right in it. So it says biometrics replacement of physical IDs hits another gear. So, just from the headline alone, we can see that things are changing across the landscape when it comes to identification. Everything is going digital. And that's been the trend, I'll say really in the past 2 months. This summer, 2024, between, May, maybe June and July till now, 2 or 3 months, there's been all kinds of, reports and articles dealing with digital IDs and digital identification, digital wallets, digital. You have these rappers, talk about, digital dash, Digidash and all of that. Hey, well, everything's going digital, man. Digital cable, digital IDs, digital wallet, digital world. Anyway, and with all this emerging digital technology and the world becoming a lot more, how can I say this? A lot more reliant on digital technology. This would have to be a fulfillment. This system, this world that we see emerging would have to be the fulfillment of what we see written about in Revelation the 13th chapter. Okay? Now I'm going to read this. Revelation chapter 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Now, when it says he, so most Christians and other scholars even will break this down as the he being the Antichrist as far as being one man. No, this he is talking about a nation of people, which are the Edomites. The he is Esau. All right? This system of the beast emerging from the earth, this is the same man, the same race of people that ruled the pagan Roman Empire has emerged in these last days to revive the ancient Roman Empire in a more modern image, in a more modern form. Okay? Known as the Renaissance. When you go into the word Renaissance, let me get that. When you go into the word Renaissance, right? I just searched the word Renaissance. Right? Renaissance is a French word meaning rebirth. It refers to a period in European civilization that was marked by a revival of classical learning and wisdom. So that means that there was a previous classical and learning system in the earth before. Okay? So let's look up classical, antiquity. Which takes you back to what? Was it classical antiquity? Classical antiquity is a period of history that focuses on the cultures of Greece and Rome from approximately the 8th century BCE to the 5th century CE. Hence, this period is also known as the Greco-Roman era. So what we are seeing in Revelation the 13th chapter is a prophecy of the revival of the Greco-Roman era, the classical Greco-Roman era, or what we know as the pagan Roman Empire, being that we Israelites who believe in the Holy Scriptures understand that this was a time of heathenistic pagan god worship, or was also known as polytheism, God worship. Remember, the Bible is a book of the power of one God. Okay? So now today, we have that same system emerge out of the current European Union. Remember, we're talking about Europe here, right? Going back to, Europe, the European civilization. So the European Union has revived the classic worship, right? Learning and wisdom of the polytheistic pagan Greco-Roman era. Like Nike, the company Nike, right, is, we look at it as Nike, right? Nike, we know the shoes, we know the Jordans, we know the sponsorships for NBA and the NFL, but Nike is also is a goddess. Nike mythology. In Greek mythology, in ancient religion, Nike is the goddess who personifies victory in any field, including art, music, war, and athletics. So the worship of the Greco-Roman era has revived in the modern European Union, the modern United Kingdom, and of course the modern United States of America, being that this company Nike is based out of America. Okay? Right, Nike Inc. is an American athletic footwear and apparel corporation headquartered near Beaverton, Oregon, United States. Why? Because of the worship of the ancient classical Greece gods, which is the Renaissance, which is the rebirth of this beast-like system in the earth, right? Revelation 13 says what? Hold on, let me just get that one point, because there's whole breakdowns on YouTube. Here we go. Yeah, 13 and 11. Okay, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. The two horns are speaking about the multi-party, the bipartisan system of most Western countries, Western world countries, mainly here in America, with the so-called Democratic Republican Party, which is a revival or renaissance of the plebeians and the patrician, the plebeian and the patricians of the government parties of the ancient Roman Empire. The Bible goes through world history. Okay, and it says that he had horns like a lamb, meaning the image was like an innocent lamb, and he spake as a dragon. But the government policies and the rulership of this beast is going to be draconian. Verse 12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. And I didn't even know I was even going to go into this breakdown, but the Spirit wants me to speak on this particular breakdown, so it'll make sense why we're seeing everything go digital. It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast. Okay, so this revived Greco-Roman era of the world, this renaissance of that Greco-Roman classical antiquity power, has now been rebirthed or renaissance into the European Union, the United Kingdom, United States of America, also known as NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And it says, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Because remember, the Greco-Roman Empire fell thousands of years ago, but it got revived. That's what Renaissance means. During the time of the late 1300s, 1400s, into the 1600s, okay? That power was revived, all right? It had a wound. It was taken down as an empire. And then you had the so-called Middle Ages or the Dark Ages with the kings and the knights and the queens and chivalry and all of that, right? You know, the Holy Roman Empire, which, by the way, was ruled by the Moors, so-called black men, okay? Israelites truly in nationality. But then the white Caucasians were able to come out of the caves and revive what fell as the Roman Empire and Greco-Roman era before. So now we have the white man's world again. It says, and he do with great. Now verse 13, we're going to get into this new modern era. And he do with great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. When was the white man in this revived Roman era able to make fire come down from heaven? Well, some would mention World War II, but there was also a moment in time when, remember, we're talking about the beast and its revival as the Roman Empire as a whole, not just America, okay? You know, what they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, but the beast as a whole after they came together, meaning the conglomerate of nations when they came together, let's see if I can find it. Right? And they became NATO. This is really when those bombs dropped. It says, early in the morning of August 30th, 1995, NATO aircraft launched a series of precision strikes against selected targets in Serbian-held Bosnia and Herzegovina. The NATO air attacks were in response for warring factions violations of UN mandates regarding safe zones and increased factional fighting. Okay? And this was back in 1995. But you did have the beginning of them being able to drop fire from heaven during World War II. So we are still talking about Esau. Okay, let me see. First NATO bombing. Okay, yeah, the first combat operation. Why did NATO bomb Serbia in 1995? So it takes you back to that time period. And they had bombing in 1999 of Yugoslavia. But it's not bringing you to like the very first, right? But NATO bombed in 1995. Okay, so we're talking about this man Esau, so-called white man, so we can be understanding in this, you know. There was a time period when they didn't rule the earth. There was a time when they did rule the earth. And that was during the time of the Renaissance. That's just history. Okay? So they was able to make fire come down from heaven. Verse 12 again. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, the Roman Empire, again, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. Now everybody has some kind of corporate relationship with this newly revived Renaissance system, or they have some kind of religious relationship with this revived system through the Catholic Church. Okay? And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth and the sight of men. So we have to fast forward from the Renaissance time period of the 1500s into the 1900s, into the 2000s. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. So people are being deceived in this modern world. Okay, post-World War II. A lot of deception is going on. A lot of lies have been told. It says, by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Because while they're telling you that this is what's supposed to be like a lamb, right, and of peace, draconian measures are being executed in the earth through war and bombings. I mean, look at what's going on in Iran and Israel today with that war, right? Even with Afghanistan and Operation Desert Storm, the Gulf War. These things are what these scriptures and these prophecies are talking about. So these are like miracles, okay, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, meaning we have to create this system where everybody can live and cooperate, okay, which is where the U.S. America comes in, because after World War II mainly, and into the 1980s with the fall of the Soviet Union and Gorbachev, into the early 2000s with the Afghan war. You notice all their power comes through war. That's how they gain influence. And the same thing has happened with this emerging digital world. Okay? It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. First, you had and that's where you get the United Nations. The United Nations came in and, okay, well, you know what? After this war, we're all going to come together and we're going to have these different laws and regulations. You can't go to war with this country unless this country's backed it up. And, there were a lot of different treaties and things signed during this time period, right? You had the U.S. dollar become the world reserve currency. So there was a stock and bond trade system created for the world as a whole. That was a new system. That was a new image, right? It says, which had the womb by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the power is in the hands of the Edomites right now to rule, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So there's going to be even more draconian measures as this system gains more power in the earth and more influence. So now with this digital age and this threat of pandemics, pestilence, cyber warfare, cyber attacks, different laws and protests and riots, different laws being enacted, saying that it's for the people, but it's really killing the privacy of your average citizen. They're going to say, okay, well, if you're not tied into this system, you can be a potential threat, right, or a terrorist, and then we'll have to take you out. So that's in these modern 2020s, okay? So now we're moving forward. It says, and he causeth all. So eventually this system is going to cause all people, both small and great people, rich and poor people, free and bond people, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And without a doubt, we are seeing that technology emerge in the earth today. I'm not going to really go into it on this video. There's plenty of other videos that I've done within the last 2 or 3 days, right? In the week alone, just on my channel. But you can go on YouTube and look up other brothers' videos. There's plenty of information out there to prove and show that this is a physical thing that is going to be put inside human bodies. Okay? So now that I've caught you up with the history and the breaking down of the prophecies, let's go back to this article here. So now it says biometrics are now part of the entire travel process. So now everybody is having to participate in this new system, this new image of the world of what we see around us. Okay? It's a spiritual thing. But it's manifesting itself physically and what this system, this beast is able to do, these governments are able to do. And good intelligence forecasts a dramatic growth in the travel digital identities, utilizing the technology to replace travel documents. Y'all remember the attack on the airports, the cyber attack, the threat on the airports? You know, what was that about? Was that, they're saying it's a glitch, but was that one of their ways to reset the system? You know, sometimes, your computer will shut off. It'll do an automatic shutdown and restart to update the computer. Maybe that was a hard reset. Now, I did a video maybe yesterday or day before going into the great reset that has been emerging in the earth, right, around the world since 2020 after the C-19 pandemic. So there's things going on behind the scenes, but if you're in the spirit, you can understand what's going on. There's a new image forming. It says, the top articles of the week on biometric update reflect the shift away from physical identity documents, with another guest post from Tales influence Neville Patterson noting a precedent for the pushback against airport biometrics because people see the dragon exercising its power. But it has to happen because its prophecy is leading to the Motb. Right? And it says, an Incognita CEO discussing mobile devices as a source of trust. Right? Oh, yeah, well, it's on your phone. So now you don't have to worry about anyone taking your passport or your ID. And it's going to go from your phone to them actually not just having it held in your hand, but they want to put it actually inside under your skin, in your hand. It says, American government agencies are preparing for mobile driver's license adoption with the collaboration involving IDEMIA, Matter, and Spruce ID unveiled, and a guide for police to investigating crimes committed with them. So they're getting a whole task force created for these things. Think RoboCop, think Judge Dredd, think Minority Report. Biometrics are filling age verification and self-service payment functions pursuant to buying and selling, Revelation 13 and 17, in alcohol sales, and providing market opportunities for IDScan.net, Yoti, ITAir, Clear, and Wicked. And just replace the T with a D. Okay? And so they're moving towards biometric digital IDs. They're moving away from physical passports, physical IDs. I did another video a day or so ago on 6 or 7 more states here in America approving to be able to have your digital ID on your phone. Now, this isn't the Motb, the mark of the beast, but this is a step towards that. And eventually, you're going to have to, receive that in your hand or your forehead, right? And when it comes to forehead, think Elon Musk and Neuralink. Although you won't hear IUIC or these other groups speak on these things, man. because they're not the true prophets. They're hirelings. They were set up to deceive the people. They're also a part of that false image. You might as well say they're a part of false prophet based upon what they're teaching. Such as the IUIC teaching. They're slowly but surely adding in Roman Catholic tenets into this truth. But the word, now we understand Mark is charagma and other words, but the word that I want to get out of this is receive in the Greek, because it says that they will cause you to receive these things. So the word receive in the Greek is what, didome?
Strong's G 1325. Didome.
That was didome.
Didome.
Didome. And it says to give something to someone, to give over, to deliver, to furnish and do, to give, to cause, profuse, to give, to hand out lots, to give, to grant, permit. So they're going to give you, right? Mandate, cause you, mandate that you get this device, this physical device in your hand or your forehead. Tell the bishops and the leaders and the generals of IUIC and ICPK to go into the Hebrew and the Greek languages, get the further understanding of a foreign book, because the Bible is a foreign book, although it was translated into English. All right? Ask them to get deep into these breakdowns and these words to make sure that they're translating the meaning correct to their congregation, and I guarantee you they won't. But this is pretty much it. I'm not going to go any longer. I just, hope this was edifying, that we're seeing, as it says here, biometrics replacement of physical IDs hits another gear. So they're moving forward. They're up in the gear, which that's really Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai turning up a notch on getting this Motb system rolled out. And eventually they're going to put all of this information through a physical device in your hand and in your forehead. So with that, I'll say shalom.